to Tracee Ellis Ross, who, like Claudia, is a 52-year-old, gorgeous, accomplished woman. Okay? Tracee Ellis Ross went on my forever First Lady, Michelle Obama's podcast, along with her
Yes.
brother. Love Michelle Obama's podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe to it, where she talked about her dating experience. Tracy revealed to Michelle that she is dating younger men. And she said that she has learned that the men she dates who are her age, she felt that, and I'm paraphrasing, but she felt that some of them were rooted in their ideology of what a relationship should be. She talked about sexual fluidity. She talked about, accepting what things are right now in the world. And she felt that some of the guys she was dating had this sense of ownership when it came to her owning her. And she didn't like it. And she felt that the younger guys she was dating, that they fit more of what she was looking for. Now, a lot of straight men, including Little Duval and Joe Budden, had a problem with this. And they said that if a man would have said that, it would be an issue. Now, I would love to hear from Claudia first about this because
Mm-hmm.
she and Tracy are the same age. What I would like to say is this: a hit dog will holler, because Tracy never once disclosed the age. She said younger. That could be she's 52. That could mean a 40-year-old man or a 45-year-old man. She didn't say the guy was 20 or 18. So I wanted to say that in terms of I didn't understand the uproar. But Claudia, how did you feel about her comments?
I just feel like with women, like, you damn if you do, you damn if you don't. You date older, they're gonna tell you you're out there for money. There's no way you actually like this. Shut up, cats. Yes, I'm a single cat lady. You don't have to scream when I'm on air right now. They know. They fucking know. Sorry. Shelly is like, my op. Anyways, so like then if she dates younger, they assume, like you said, that she's talking about some 28-year-old, 30-year-old, hot boy. And she wasn't. At this point, 52 years old, if you're single, like, you probably haven't had the best of luck in relationships, or your standards may be unrealistic, or you're very picky. I will say I'm very picky, and I will own that. I'm okay with that. If you meet someone, you vibe with someone that happens to be 10, 12, 15 years younger, then you should go for it. At 52 years old, we are not spring chickens anymore. We're still fabulous, but I always joke to my friends, I go, yo, I'm at the beginning of the fourth quarter right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I got way more years behind me than in front of me. So if I vibe with someone, like, the thought of me dating someone 30, 35 is like, to me. Like, I like a more mature man, but I'm not going to like shoot someone down if you are 40 years old, 38, and you got it going on. I'm extremely attracted to you, and you're doing all the things that I need that turn me on and that I respect. So I don't know why they're coming for her so hard. Like, I don't know. But, this internet, they be mad at her today and celebrate her tomorrow. The internet, everybody on the internet, you're all bipolar. So that's what I think.
Yeah. So first of all, I think we need to zoom out, okay, and realize who we're talking about. Tracee Ellis Ross is not no regular lady. Let's just keep it real. Her mother is motherfucking Diana Ross. Also, so let's talk about what that means. That means she's been exposed to like a worldview that is not typical. She's seen more than the average person her age. Also, of her own right, she had a very deep, very acclaimed career in fashion before she even started acting and became famous in her own right as an actor. So she's been around a global. She has a global worldview, right? So when it comes to dating men who are anything other than what most people understand the typical profile of a male to be, she's open to that. You know what I'm saying? She's seen a lot, done a lot, been around the world, met people in positions of power, or whatever you want to term it as. She's done it. So it's a different lens that she's looking at the dating world through. And I think that that's relevant in this case. Tracee Ellis Ross is fly as fuck, always has been, got everything in her own right. It's not many that can keep up with that, especially niggas her own age. If you look at the average 52-year-old guy and you look at her, of course, her lifestyle and the way she moves, the things that she does, that they can be attributed to someone that is typically normally younger than 52, right? Her life is not that of the average 52-year-old woman's. So a younger man is going to skew better for her. It made perfect sense to me. And I just don't understand why everybody was so upset, especially Lil Duval and Joe Budden. I don't see her dating anybody like either one of them personally.
You know, I will say
So
this, what you said, Justin.
Yeah.
She also, again, my birthday dinner this weekend, only one woman there was married and one was in a relationship. The rest were all single, beautiful, got it going on, all pretty much same age. And we all got to talking about these types of things. And the stories that girls were sharing, these women were sharing, is when you're older, well, you're a woman, especially a Black woman, and you're successful, you almost get penalized by it. Like you're almost deemed undateable. I remember meeting a guy, like talking to someone, and after he found out that just bought a Bentley, got a house, got all these things, right? My own chain or whatever, these things. They said, well, you don't need a man. And I said, how so? They said, well, what can I do for you? I'm like, be there for me, emotional support, intimacy, love, feeling like someone has my back. Like, I think men think that women like that, like the bar is so high that I'd have to meet them at, that I'd rather not even put the effort in, so I don't even try. Or they think, oh, I could never get with someone like that. So a lot of times these women are lonely and single or not approached. A lot of women are not approached, or they're penalized. Again, I remember, a lot of these conversations, the nightmare stories of women that are successful and men almost being turned off by them, or preemptively bracing themselves for this masculine energy that they think you might have, where you may have to have that in career, but that does not mean that when we bring it home, we go home, it's not like that. I was with KJ. He was a blue collar guy for years, still my best friend to this day. And in our relationship, yes, I was boss mode outside of work, but when I came home, it was very feminine energy in the house. Yeah, it wouldn't have worked that long if it was I came home and I was demanding, and this nightmare that men think that a successful woman has. And I think men maybe, I know it sounds so cliche, intimidated, but I think you are. Look at a lot of successful women that are single. Sanaa Lathan, Nia Long, Oprah. Well, she's with Stedman, but there's so many. Just go down the list. Type in famous Black actresses, right? And most of them are single women. They're not married. And they've had access to a lot of all kinds of men. And I think I will say, I will make an argument for successful women almost being deemed like they're on the top, they're on a shelf that men don't want to climb that high to get to, because it would require a lot of work and being accountable for things.
I don't understand that. I come from a family of strong, confident Black men who take care of their families, raise their kids, and encourage their women to be driven and ambitious and confident and have things in their own right. So when I see men have knee-jerk reactions to very simple statements like the one that Tracee Ellis Ross made, I just don't get it. The whole intimidation thing, I don't buy it. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's a much smaller dating pool of men that quantify or qualify at a certain level of success comparatively to women. Women are outpacing. They are more educated than men right now. It is what it is. And so they're without having to choose to date down almost, right? It lessens the number of men that are available. So it's just one of those fucked up things. But I don't understand men who can hear something like what Tracee Ellis Ross said and feel offended by that, or take away like, well, she's wrong. I just didn't get that. So I don't know.
Well, that's why
here, but I didn't get it.
Yeah, no, well, listen. So one thing as a journalist myself, I did speak to Black straight men about this because I did want to understand. Now, this is in my point of view. I spoke to a successful Black man, and on some real shit, what Claudia's saying is true. Again, I didn't interview all Black men in the world, so maybe so stop it. But the ones I have spoken to personally have echoed what Claudia said. Now, they also told me, Carlos, I will tell you, but please don't reveal who I am. And one thing about a journalist, we don't reveal our sources. Now, I'm going to tell you what a Black straight man said to me.
Okay.
He did say, when it comes to successful Black women, he is tired of being told by them, I'm this, I'm that, I don't need you, I got this and I got that. And he said, Los, well, shit, if you got all that, then why do I have to pay all of the food for dinner? Why do I have to constantly pay for everything? If you're so successful and strong, then shit, go 50-50. Since you want to broadcast your success to me, how about you show up then? How about you let me pay 50% of our outings? Again,
Ooh,
that
lame
I
rhetoric alert.
I know,
Lame.
I know. I'm not, again, this is what, because I really wanted to understand how some felt. Again, this isn't everybody.
Right,
It
right,
was
right.
the ones I was speaking to. And that's why when Claudia said what she said, I was holding it inside like, oh my gosh, it kind of quantifies exactly what her point is. And listen, I I I I got in trouble for saying this on Nene Leakes podcast, which I was like, first of all, y'all take anything we say and y'all twist it to drama. So long story short, Nene Leakes is single, and Nene Leakes is, I think, the same age too, 52, if I'm not mistaken.
She older than that.
I
Not that she's an old woman at all. I just think
Yeah,
she's
she's
older than
oh, no,
52. Yeah, not at all. I'm not saying
that's
that.
neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So Nene Leakes, who's around the same age, not to be technical,
we're in the
I
same decade. We're in the same
Mm-hmm.
decade.
okay. I said on her podcast, the Nene Leakes show, subscribe to her, y'all. I said to her, you should look into possibly dating outside your race. I feel like over 40, you should not just date your type. Look into dating other types, younger men, white men. And a lot of black men felt, and they said this to me, black straight men felt like, why are you telling her to not date us? I said, I never once told her not to date a black man. I said to her, date outside your race, date younger, and start exploring other avenues since it's not working out for you. Because once again, 99% of my black female friends who are over 40 and are successful, 99% of them are with white men. And that's just the facts of life. Shout out to Tootie.
Yeah, I don't know. Nene, she's a special case, right? Like Nene's a huge personality. She's famous. She's a widow. There's a lot of elements in the mix to finding a good partner for her, right? So it might be a little more challenging. Nene also strikes me as a person. I don't know her personally, but based on what I see online and on television, she seems really, really set in her ways. You can't really. I don't know how she received that information from you to go out and look and try something new, right? She probably responded that she had it all figured out in her own way. She knows her type, whatever. She just doesn't seem like the type to really even be in environments that are foreign to her like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really.
But don't you think, well, let me ask you this. And that's why I'm so glad Claudia's here too, because do you feel like the women at your table that you were with this past weekend, because your friends are stunningly gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I always tell people it has nothing to do with the looks. And that's why I'm glad Claudia clocked it. And I'm glad I did speak to a few, because you have these beautiful black women who's in Claudia's social circle.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous to look at. And you would think they are in relationships. So something has to give. And I don't think that it's a coincidence that Claudia felt that way, that a small few of black straight men said that to me. I do think, listen, I think Tracee Ellis Ross wanting younger, I think a lot has to do with the fact what you said too, Dustin. She is Diana Ross's daughter. She's accomplished. She's seen the world. So that it could be some intimidation there. And I think she's so aware of who she is that a man could be intimidated by it. Because Claudia, why do your friends think they're single?
Why do they think I'm single or they're single?
All of you guys, like when you guys were at the table, what's the consensus in terms of we're all attractive women who are successful? Why don't we have a man?
A lot of them feel like a lot of men, we're talking about black men here, because everyone, pretty much no one there is really abandoned black men. They're still like they still want to have a relationship.
That's their preference.
That's their preference. But some are open, but for the most part, the majority want. I feel like this 50-50 conversation is something I mostly hear with black men. I never hear white men talking about this, which sucks. Like, now listen, when a woman is being properly taken care of and she feels like you got your masculine energy around her and you're covering her and you're protecting her, a woman with means will give you more than 50%. We're buying you jewelry. We're taking you on trips. We're doing things for you. We're like, let's go get this crib together. You will get that. Don't think that these women that have all this disposable income want to go 50-50 with you, and then they're not going to do anything else for you. Most Black women are very nurturing people anyways. And a lot of us that are successful put aside motherhood and didn't have kids. So there's a lot of extra money there. And guess who they want to dote on? You. You know, and I'm just so sick of this like epidemic that's happening. I think for a long time, the currency that we both, men and women had, men had the financial currency, right? So it didn't really matter how they looked. They can just get away with whatever. Their currency was money. And for the longest time, women didn't have access to money, credit cards, bank accounts, career. So their currency was sex and looks and doing things for you, right? So when things switched up and now women are kind of they have the money and they have the looks, I think some men are resentful of that. Like, bitch, like it's almost like I got to bring you down a peg. And that's another conversation. A lot of women at the table said the men that they date that are successful feel like they need to humble them.
Yeah,
Yes, and downplay the work and downplay and I tell my girlfriends, and I don't know if this is good or bad advice. Y'all tell me what you think. I go, they don't care about your success, how successful, they don't care. Like, stop even letting them know that. Other women respect that, but men usually aren't looking for a partner that she makes this much money. Well, except the fuckboys that want to like leech off you, but they're usually looking at peace, you know, how beautiful you are, the good sex, you know, whatever, less drama. So they're not really attracted to you telling them how many successful companies you have. It actually is almost annoying to some of these men because they want their currency is that. So now you're stepping over the line into their area. So it becomes a competition. You're butting heads. It's like two people with big dick energy.
Maybe with the wrong is right. Because to me, a real boss, a confident man, somebody who is accomplished, someone who has worked hard, set goals and accomplished them, reached them, they're not going to be on no competitive energy with a woman. You know what I'm saying? That they're interested in dating. And so to me, if you see any semblance of that sort of energy, that sort of perspective, that sort of disposition, you know what I'm saying? That's the automatic red flag. And that's how you know that's not the guy for you, because there are tons of men out there who are successful, driven, looking for partnership, looking for companionship, eager to be a father, eager to be a provider and go first. I think you just beautifully illustrated how things can go when a man goes first. Show yourself worthy, show that you have the means to take care of things and that you're willing to. You're not even going to ask about no 50-50 shit because you want to assume a position of headship in the relationship. So you go ahead and pay first. And then a woman like yourself who has access to resources that you work so hard for, tirelessly for, you're more than willing to offer them up. And then things are clear. Somebody got to go first. Somebody has to be willing to say, okay, I want to be the leader in this relationship. So I'm going to show and prove. Let me do. And it doesn't always look like financial, contribution, but that's a great way to represent your stake that you're taking in the success of the relationship. I don't know why that's so hard for so many niggas.